good afternoon. I'm back again, as always, with part 19. Sorry, I had to. You know, I'm British. We're on part 19 of a series. That's just how it goes. You know, that is the law on the internet. If you're on part 19 or something, you have to stutter when you say the number 19. But I won't do it again. But yeah, you can see we're on page 13. See, I never said that rule wouldn't apply to other numbers or other words. Also, yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing? So, yeah, we're on page 13. We're taking a look at even more games on this console. We're coming towards the end. There's really not that many games left. And in fact, this page may actually be the final selection of the sort of early Famicom games that tend to be staples on pirate multicarts. This is about it. And, yeah, for being the last set, I mean, you know, Naitou, I think this is a board game. Like, there are several board games on this page. And, yeah, bored as well probably be when I try to play them. And also Nibbles, which, yeah, we'll come on to that one. I did do Muscle last time, so I'm just going to skip that one. And that game sucks anyway, so just as well. Ooh, what is going on here? Okay, Magic Jewelry with a really glitchy score. I don't know what's going on there. That's just strange. So I'm just looking up something for later. So, how are you all doing? So there we go. That's Jewelry, as it's also known. So, yeah. This is one of the games that I was looking forward to the most, actually, on this console, because there's a lot of games on here. And some of them are really good. A lot of them are really not good at all. As I say, I mean, played Muscle last time, that game's bad. And, yeah, I mean, there was also the tag team game, which is a fun two-player game, but as a single-player game, it just does not work. I don't think, anyway. It's not one that I've ever liked in single-player mode. It's, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just the case with certain games on this console. You really want a second person with them. I mean, Ninja Turtles is like that to some extent. Those games are good. It's just that, you know, you get a second person to play it with you, then it's even better. Yeah, I like this game too. This is a fun one. Also, I do need to apologise because my voice might be a bit raspier than usual, and, you know, that's saying something. But no, if that's the case, it's because I've had to do a lot of talking at work this week. There was a whole thing going on that required me to do a whole lot of talking, and so my voice was a bit worn out on Friday. I wasn't streaming Friday, obviously, but after work I kind of had to rest my voice a bit. Hopefully it's ready for today. But yeah, as I say, this final page of games, this might actually be it for these early Famicom games. We do have a few more pages left, but after this, it's really only going to be later era games, like games that came out much later in the Famicom's life, games that aren't really multicart staples generally, you know, like Magic Jewelry is. This is a game that you always find on multicarts, not so much like other games that you tend to find on these sort of clone systems. I guess they've become more common recently just because you're more likely to find a lot of games on a particular console or system. Or multicart, I should say. That's what I was trying to say, and I messed up. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Columns more or less, like, dropped off the face of the earth. I don't mind Columns, like, it's not one of my favourite games ever, but it's one of those games, whenever I play it, I do have a good time with it. Even if I only end up playing it for about 5 minutes, I'm like, you know, 5 minutes could have been a lot worse. I could have been playing Muscle, you know. Ooh, let's try to do that. See all those points I got? Actually, what even is the win condition for this game? Because, you know, this is the whole 1cc thing. Like, how do you consider this game as being beat? I guess if I managed to loop the soundtrack around, because this game has something like 8 songs in it, so I guess if we go back to the first song, we can consider it completed, because the game doesn't really have much beyond beyond that point. Also, hello Clip, how you doing? Yes, we're starting off with one of the true multi-cart Famicom classics. It's kind of funny, you do get certain games like this, where they're not really well known amongst kind of the NES fans, you know, the people who grew up on like Zelda, or, you know, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or whatever. They didn't grow up with Magic Jewelry, as a rule. You know, it's just, they just didn't have this game back in the day. And that, I think, is kind of sad, because I like this game. I mean, granted, yes, it is basically a Columns clone, but it's a good one. And it even has a trick that Columns doesn't, which is, you can flip the piece. Not that I really have much reason to do so here, but I could flip the piece. Couldn't do that in Columns. Glad to see you can make it, Alex. Playing probably one of your favourites right now. Actually, I don't know if this is one of your favourites, but it's one that I like quite a bit. You know, if you were to ask me what are my, you know, 100 favourite Famicom NES games, I'm not sure if this game would be up there, but the sequel certainly would be, because this game did get a sequel, which is, well, it's a sequel in the way that something like Afterburner 2 is a sequel, where it's really the same game, but they've expanded it and improved on a few things. Where that one, they have a 2-player mode, you have different tile sets, I think, so you can make it look different, which is nice. You know, I've never played Super Columns. I had a Game Gear back in the day. It was actually the first game system I ever played. But I only ever had a handful of games on it. Like, I had the original Columns, but Super Columns, I don't even know if that got a European release. I've never seen a copy anywhere, so that leads me to think that maybe it just never got a release over here. Or maybe just no one cared. I don't know. Wait, is that a thing? I don't remember that. Hold on, I'm going to have to... Okay, I'm going to have to keep an ear out, because, I mean, we're on level 3 right now, so let's see if the music tracks loop once I get to the next level. Actually, no, is this one of those games that has a level 0? I think it is. I wasn't really paying attention at the start. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think you're right. So, okay, I guess, for whatever reason, there are just fewer songs on this version. I have no idea how that works. That doesn't even make sense. It's really weird too, because like, this is a really small game, like literally one of the smallest games on the console. Like, I think Galaxian was the smallest officially licensed game for the Famicom, like it's 16K, where even things like Mahjong and, you know, Donkey Kong and whatever are all 24K, like all the really early games, and you know, that's kind of why they're on this system, is because they could just fit tons of those games onto systems like this. But then you have this game and Galaxian, which are actually 16K, and it's impressive that they managed to fit this game into a ROM size that small, because you have a full soundtrack, you know, it plays decently enough, you've got a fair amount of graphics, even if some of the background graphics are taken straight out of Golgo 13, but, you know, it has them. Yeah, why they took the music out, I have no idea, because, like, they managed to fit the full soundtrack into 16K for that original release. It's not like that one has fewer songs. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just weird. But I will just keep playing this game until I eventually... lose. Because, I mean, I guess since we've already looped the soundtrack around, there's not really much further I can do with this one. Yeah, I was looking into doing that anyway. I was actually looking up the code on TCRF because I couldn't remember it offhand. But yeah, why would there be a version of this that has fewer songs on it? Because it's not like it really takes up more space on the system, I don't think. You know, unless they were trying to cut this down to like 8K, but I don't think that's how it works. I'll let you enjoy the soundtrack for a bit too. Well, I'm not really up all night for this. It's currently 20 to 4 in the afternoon. So not quite up all night, but, you know, I could play this game all day if I wanted to. But I will try to get through this whole page of games today. Also, I didn't actually mean to do that. But sure. I remember one of the songs in this. I don't think you'll hear it in this version. But I do remember one of the songs in this game is a rendition of the love theme from The Godfather. Which I'm like, what's that doing in a Columns clone of all things? It's strange and interesting. And I like it. Okay, well I can do a nice T shape there, turn outside. I do like that song as well. It's not my favourite Daft Punk song, but it was a solid one. You could not go wrong with it. I can't really remember any of the other songs off the album, though. In fact, I do remember the consensus at the time was, yeah, Get Lucky's a good song. The album is kind of... eh. That's what I remember. And again, the fact that I can't remember any of the other songs off it, it's kind of funny, like... What was the one that had Technologic on it? The name of the album? I'm trying to remember. Was it Human After All? Like, I can remember about half of the songs off the album, and then the other half of just... It just goes in one ear out the other. But some of those songs that I do remember are really good. Like, Robot Rock may actually be my favourite song from them. Like, that's a song for, like, I'm going to beat the fucking out of your face. Ultimate song for that. Like, if I was going to make a film and have a montage in it, I'd just put that song in it. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Was there ever a Godfather game? Yeah, there was. I was like, was there a Godfather game? And then I'm like, oh yeah, because there was that game on PS2. Which I've heard is actually pretty decent, but I never played it. I don't know why. I don't know, I just never got around to it. That's one of those sort of GTA-inspired games, I think. It's like you had one based on Godfather. There was one based on Scarface. Somehow there was a game based on Reservoir Dogs on PS2. Like, how do you make a game based on Reservoir Dogs? Like, most of the film was told in flashback. And, you know, there's not really much action in it. Like, there's the bit... Yeah, there's the torture scene, I guess. But I don't know how you gamify that. And then there was also the Sopranos game, which, from what I remember, is apparently meant to be really bad. Which is a shame. I like Sopranos, but... Yeah, apparently the game version is... It does not live up to the show. And apparently the people who worked on the show, they were kind of pressured into, like, doing the game by HBO. And they didn't really get video games as an art form. Kind of a shame. I could imagine... I can imagine a world in which a good Sopranos game exists, but yeah, it's not that game. It's just the tone of the writing is not even close to the show, from what I remember. It's like, yeah, let's give the Sopranos game, but let's have the script written by the twits that wrote the script for Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I'm just gonna say straight up, I genuinely think Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of, like, the worst games on Nintendo 64. What people see in that game, I have no idea. I think it's one of those you had to be there sort of things. And since I wasn't there, I had a Nintendo 64, but I didn't have that game, and I'm thankful I didn't have that game. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to play this. It's like, what is it, Mortal Kombat Mythologies? Like, actually, I would say Mortal Kombat Mythologies is probably the worst Nintendo 64 game for real. Because the only good thing about that game, from what I remember, was the cutscenes, like the FMV cutscenes. Those are great. But the rest of the game is bad. It just plays like arse. And the Nintendo 64 version doesn't even have the cutscenes in it, so it's like, why even bother releasing that version at all? Oh, is the game based on Godfather Part 2? Because I'd have to play that, so I actually think Godfather Part 2 is the best of all the films. Where it's kind of that dual... You know, you kind of have two stories going on at once. You know, you've got the making of Vito as the Godfather. But then you've also got, you know, the whole thing going on Michael in the present day. Or, you know, what was the present day when the film came out. Or actually, No, timeline's gone over my head. My brain's a bit fried. Sorry. I apologise. Yeah, if it's based on Godfather Part 2, I may actually have to play that, because I love that film. You know, I'm like... Part 1 is a great film, but Part 2 is one of my all-time favourites. Like, I have the trilogy on... Do I have it on Blu-ray? I want to say... Yeah, I definitely picked up the Blu-ray version at some point, just like the whole box set that I got for... from like, it was either a charity shop or like CEX or somewhere like that. Wait, is there a part in the game we have to assassinate Fidel Castro? Like, I know they go to Cuba at one point, but I don't remember that scene. Yeah, it's like we decided to, yeah, what if the Godfather game was also just a crossover with Guerrilla War? Which is funny I mentioned that, because Guerrilla War is on this console, and you know what? Guerrilla War? That's a good game. I quite like that. In fact, if you were to ask me, like, what are the best games on this console, like this plug-and-play system, Guerrilla War would be up there. And even if you were just asking me just across every game that got released on the NES and Famicom, I probably would put Guerrilla War pretty high up there. Like, it's not, like, my favourite game of all time, but... probably one of the best two-player games, I think. Struggle to think of many better ones. Also, yeah, you can see my magic jewelry skills in play right here. You know, level 11. Though, the biggest difference between this game and Columns to me is the way that the game scales up in difficulty. The thing about Columns is that the game speeds up really fast, much like Tetris. Like Tetris variations that were out around this time, they tended to scale in difficulty very quickly, so by the time you get to like level 8 or 9, the game would just go super fast, and you had to plan out your moves in advance. And Columns on the Mega Drive and, you know, the 8-bit systems was also like that. It's not like that with this game, though. This game is a lot slower. Like, it eventually gets quite fast, but it takes a while to get to that point. So we may be here for a while, depending on how this run goes, I suppose. Like, sometimes I play this game for, like, 5 minutes and then I just kind of lose. Other times I could be here for, like, an hour. Depending on just how good I happen to be on that day. This may be one of those hour-long runs. I mean, you know, I really haven't played that many games extensively on this console. Often just because I'm bad enough at them that I kind of just lose within the first 5 minutes. And I promise that's not on purpose. Most of the time, at least. That's just kind of like, you know, I haven't played the game much, or I haven't played it in a while, so, like, my knowledge of the game has gone out the window. I mean, I'm amazed I was actually able to beat, like, certain games on here, like, you know, Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. I haven't played that game in ages. But when I came back to that game, it's like all my knowledge of that game that I'd built up from having played it in the past just suddenly came back to me. I don't know what happened. It's just like I've got this memory hole of that particular game, and I just called on that to beat that game. You know, I'm not sure how far I got into this. I got to, like, level... I know I got pretty far into this game, because I do remember getting the mastery for this on Retro Achievements, because there is a Retro Achievement set for this game, and I definitely mastered the achievement set on this. I don't remember what the requirement is. It's like you have to get, like, 10 million points or something, maybe? I'd have to look it up. It's been a while since I've played it with that, because it was one of the very first games I did. Like, in fact, yeah, I think this may have been the first game I'd mastered that had any real sort of challenge to doing so. Because the one I did before that was Barnstorming, and it turns out Barnstorming is actually kind of easy to master. Like, just a case of get a certain time. That's one of the easier games to do that with, I would say. Yeah, I've definitely seen ROM hacks of this, like, as you say in the chat, Coin Tetris being one such example. I mean, Coin Tetris, I mean, it's just this, but with worse graphics. It's pretty much the best way I can describe it, really. Ooh, here we go, nice little combo here. I mean, I don't think the sound effects in this are great, but they're fine enough. I don't really mind them. I guess that's the thing. This game it's one of those that has very mixed opinions. Some people really like it, and some people really do not. I personally have always been quite fond of it. It's like, if I want to play a columns game where I don't just lose her in the first 10 minutes, this is the version I'll play. This is not the ideal way to play it, though. Because again, some of the music tracks are missing, so you just end up hearing the same once more. And that is a shame. Also, what is this song? I forget what this one is. Is this meant to be, is this the one that's a rendition of, like, the first level from Altered Beast? Because I know one of the music tracks is based on that. I can't remember if it's this one or not. I do have the sound turned down, to be fair. Also, let me know if the sound is echoing on stream as well. Just, so I can adjust for that, just in case. But yeah, like, there were... It's really weird what happened to columns. Because, you know, it's like Sega was trying to make columns into this huge thing in the 90s. Oops. Yeah, they were trying to make columns into this big thing in the 90s, and it seems like it just never took. Like, people just... I don't know, we're just never really that into it. I guess the problem is, at the end of the day, it's just... It's no Tetris. It's kind of the real problem. You know, you look at it and you're like... This game isn't bad, but, you know, Tetris is kind of the better game. And even on this, you put this up against Tengen Tetris, I would say that is probably the better game. Just got more to it. Now, Magic Jewelry 2, you put it up against that, then we may have a real fight on our hands. What do I do here? Oh, it's level 5. Yeah, I couldn't remember offhand. That's funny, there used to be a time where sometimes clone systems, or possibly multicarts, I'm not sure, would have this song as the menu song, but then at some point, like someone in China just said, you know what, we need to make it so that every single clone system and multicart needs to have, like, the first level song for Mighty Final Fight. Like, that needs to be the multicart menu theme from now on. We just decided that is the song to use. I don't know why. I mean, it's a good song, but I've heard it so many times, I never want to hear it again. And it's a shame, too, because Mighty Final Fight is a good game, but... yeah. And it is on this console as well. It's kind of funny, I think about the NES Mini, and how it only has 30 games on it, and this is 400. Well, maybe a bit less than that when you factor in, like, duplicate versions of games, and... what was it? With certain cases, you get... I'm trying to think. Like, duplicates, and... just, like, slight, like, variations on existing games. Like, particularly the Nice Code games, where you get several versions of the same game, but they just have different graphics. It's like, okay, well, what's the point of that? It's almost like a sound effect you get from a fruit machine or something. Oh. I would say let's try to get, like, 6 in a row. I'm sure that's possible, but you'd have to do it for a chain. You can't just do that through one thing. But, yeah, the columns... It kind of just got replaced by Puyo Puyo at some point. It's like... Because I guess, you know, at some point Sega ended up getting the rights to Puyo Puyo after Compile went bankrupt. And, yeah, Sega kind of took it... they kind of took over the series. Oops. Oh, this might not be good. Trying to see if I can get... No, I need a yellow piece. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Look at all those points. And you thought I was about to lose. Maybe. Oh, Unchained Melody. You know what? They should bring that back. Like, the multicast, they should just have Unchained Melody as the theme. You know, Righteous Brothers represent. Though I'm not going to lie, You've Lost That Love and Feeling is probably the better song, to tell you the truth, but Unchained Melody, still a classic. Also, yeah, the Summer Wine theme, you know what, I like that one too. It's got a nice chill vibe to it. It's got the problem with, like, the Mighty Final Fight song as a multi-cart menu theme is, it's too energetic for the context. Like, it works well in Mighty Final Fight, but I don't know, like a menu theme should be a bit more chill, I think. It should be something more like this, maybe. Oh, okay. Messed that up. You know, I almost want to do like a clacks thing where you get 7 in a row. Or not 7. It's not even possible. No, I want to do the clacks thing where you make an X shape. Also, yeah, June started. Yeah, got all the big things going on. Got the World Cup, which I'm not going to watch, because, no. I'm not really a football person. I know more about football than I probably should, but it doesn't mean I like it. I don't know, I'm just one of those things. Sometimes I learn about things, either through osmosis or just because I felt like looking into it. It's like, I remember getting... It was like a Blu-ray of... It was like a documentary on the making of Football Manager. Even though I never really had much interest in Football Manager. Like, I have one of the games on Steam, but I think I tried playing it and I couldn't figure out how to play it. So, yeah. Oh, that Booby Kid song. I mean, the game is a stupid title, but it's a good song. I'm trying to think of the multi-carts I've got. Maybe I should just do a stream where I just look through some of the cartridges I have. And maybe I'll do like a follow-up, like continuing on with this series where maybe I try to do 1cc runs of some of the games I actually own on cartridge. I did pick up a Famicom cartridge pretty recently from a local game shop. And maybe I can show that off on stream and you can see exactly what it is I picked up. Also, yeah, note the fact that I've been playing this for... How long have I been playing this for? Like 15 minutes, maybe? Maybe even less than that. And I'm already 27 levels in. Oh, sorry, 21 levels in. Sorry, I was not paying enough attention to the screen. But yeah, I got 21 levels to flow. I got 21 levels to go. So if you'd like me to load it in the studio. Anyway. Yeah, I could have a look at that. I did test it out briefly just to make sure it worked. But I have not dug into what's on it. I remember picking up another multi-cart from... It was like a trade show, sort of not far away. But it literally has 2 games on it. Like, I think it's literally just Legend of Kage, and I think it would have been Tennis, like Black Box Tennis, was the other game. So, not really much to talk about on that one. Weirdly enough, I think the menu, like the background they used for it, was actually taken from Dash Galaxy for some reason. I don't know if maybe that game is hidden on the cartridge and you have to use some sort of dip switch to access it. That's a thing that some cartridges have, that have a dip switch and you could like change basically the game's list. And sometimes you would actually get games that you normally wouldn't be able to access, which is strange. I don't really understand that. Like, what's the point? Ooh. Oh, give me a purple one. Here we go. Oh yeah, the 191 one. I wish I still had that. I think I sent it off for preservation, and then I don't know what happened. It just never came back. But you know, it's one of those things. I got a lot of Famicom cartridges anyway. Yeah, Dash Galaxy. You know, maybe they were just like, yeah, this game looks cool. You know, it's got that kind of 50s futuristic aesthetic. I mean, on the face of it, like, Dash Galaxy doesn't seem that bad as a game. It's one of those games that definitely... I think it's worse the more you look into it. It's the problem with a lot of games, especially from this era, where Some games, I find that as I play them, they get better. But there are quite a few games I've played where, as I dig into them, they actively got worse. And Dash Galaxy is kind of one of those games. Things like that, or King's Knight. I think that's generally a good way for me, like in my head at least, how I can distinguish a good game from a bad one. If it gets better as I play it, it's probably good. If it gets worse as I play it, then it's probably bad, or at the very least, it's one that I don't like. It's like, I mentioned I was playing like Mario 3 pretty recently, and that's a game that, it's not like my favourite game ever. I don't think it's quite as good as people say it is. But it is a good game. Okay, I don't know why I went for that colour, but whatever. But yeah, it's definitely one of those games that gets better as I play it, and I'm like, this is a good game. Would I say it's the best game on the NES? I don't think so. But if someone told me they thought it was the best game on the NES, I could kind of see it. I wouldn't disagree with them, I'd just be like, I don't really agree with this, but I understand where you get that take from. Also, yeah, does anyone have nostalgia for Dash Galaxy? I can understand, like, nostalgia for this, like if you grew up on multicarts. Again, this game was quite common on those, but when it comes to, yeah, like some of the other games I have, it's like, maybe I should show off some of the bootleg cartridges I have on stream at some point. Because some of them I've got standalone cartridges, and I think there are a few of those where they're for games that I haven't come across on this console, but I think at least a few of them are on this console somewhere. Also, I wonder, is this version of the game easier than the normal release, or am I just better at it today? I don't know. Again, I did master this with the retro achievements, so maybe it does play exactly the same. Yeah, it's definitely one that was not common on multicarts. Maybe a few of them had it. Again, maybe that cartridge I have has Dash Galaxy on it, and I just would need to, you know, hack the multicart in some way to access it. I don't know. At least I think it had Dash Galaxy. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else, but it's what I remember. But yeah, I mean, you compare the speed in this to Columns. Like, this is level 25 that I'm on right now. And you compare this to, say, level, like, 8 of Columns. It's so much slower than that. So, yeah, I mean, again, generally I'd say this is... It's like Columns, but it's easier. As I say that, I'm about to lose, but, you know, such is life. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. You don't get much time to correct your moves in this one, though. I think, actually, it's a bit stricter in that sense, by comparison. But you go to levels a lot quicker in this, I find. I don't know. I mean, I was able to master the Game Gear version of Columns. I couldn't do it for the Mega Drive version, though. Like, that version, I'd get so far into it, and I just couldn't get any further. It's too fast. Oh, now I'm about to lose here as well. Ugh. Game's getting too fast. Yeah, I think I might be done here, actually. Yep, there we go. Okay, let me see if the cheat code works in this. Watch this. So you hold select and right, and then you press start. Now, what's supposed to happen on this screen, it's supposed to come up with the RCM logo, that being the, I think, the publisher for this game originally. But whoever made this multicart, they must have hacked the logo out of the ROM. So it just comes up with this glitchy mess. Oh, also you could just restart the game on level 26 if you want. But anyway, yeah, since, you know, given the amount of score I got, and the fact that I've looped the music several times, I think I'm going to count that as a win. So, now we make it to the nice number. But let's see if I can get to 100. Probably not, considering how many games I've got left, but I could give it a go. What else do we have? You know, this is one that I really am intrigued by. So, Nibbles. So, if you don't know what this is actually a homebrew game. This was made by Damien Yerrick, I think also known as Teppels. You know, rather scummy move, whoever made this system actually hacked out the information that would say that. Because it does say that originally, and they've taken it out. Though they didn't remove the fact to say that the game was 25% completed. You know, let's try playing through this one. I should point out this may be a little bit harder to play with this setup, just because there is a little bit of latency introduced by my capture setup. That's not an issue with the console, it's just, you know, the way that I'm streaming it. But yeah, it's funny how this console has several clones of Snake. Like, apparently whoever made this console really liked Snake. Also, if you press start, it just does this. I don't know if it does that on the original ROM or not. But this is a homebrew game. It's kind of funny, because the only homebrew software on this, you have this game, and you have, what was the other game? Bomb Sweeper, which was a remake of the Game & Watch game. Also, I think you do get infinite lives in this game, so as long as I don't reset before I beat all the levels, I think I can beat this. Since there really is no game over in this one. It's not like... Or it certainly doesn't acknowledge any sort of game over. But yeah, as I say, there are several Snake clones on this. I don't really know why. I guess maybe whoever made this console just really likes Snake. And to be fair, this is definitely the best of the Snake clones. I mean, ignoring the fact that, you know, this was someone's... I'm not sure if it's a passion project, but, you know, this is made by someone for the love of the game, and not just raking some money. But anyway. Yeah, again, made by Damien Yerrick. We also have, what was it, Fire Dragon, which was made by Gamtech, which is similar to this, but it's slower and has really irritating music, just really bad. And then you have Greedy, which was the Nice Code Snake clone, which is, I don't know, maybe, I remember, maybe plays a little bit better. Maybe has a little bit more going on gameplay-wise, but the audio in that one is so bad, it's just, no. But yeah, this one's pretty simple. You just kind of collect apples. In fact, the graphics remind me a lot of... what was the Snake clone that was on Windows? It came with the Entertainment Pack. I can't remember what the name was. I want to say it was Rattler's Race, but maybe that was the game with the mouse and the cats. Landmaster? Oh yeah, that was... No, that's not Snake though, is it? That was more like Pipe Mania a little bit. Yeah, I've played Landmaster. I think there were like 50 levels. I remember just playing through it one night just because I was interested to see what it was. That game was pretty good. I liked that game. And you know, it's funny, for a game that's 25% completed, this is actually better than like most of the Nice Code games I've looked at, which is quite funny. And again, you have infinite lives. I'm guessing they never got around to coding a limited amount of lives. Also, I pressed down there and the game didn't register it. I don't know if that's just a control issue, or again, if it may just be a latency issue with the console and my capture device. Yeah, certainly with levels like this, it makes it a lot more awkward to play, because when the apples are like not in the walls, but next to the walls, it makes it awkward. But I'm not going to blame that on the game, I just blame that on my stream setup. So, Tepples, if you're watching this, you do a good job. Oh yeah, Audacity Snakes. Was that a ROM hack of this? Because it feels like it might be, but I don't know if it actually is. Maybe they just took the graphics from it. Yeah, Rattler Race. Okay, so that is the game I was thinking of. Oh, poof. I missed it by one thing, and then lost. Well, thankfully, this game is not that difficult. I don't know what happens when you beat this one. Maybe it just goes back to the title screen, or maybe it just loops back to the first level. I'll know if it does that, because the first one was just blank. There's not really much variation with the levels, but again, the game was 25% completed at this point. You can't really expect a whole lot. I do wonder why this game was included. I get why Bomb Sweeper would be on this, because that game really does resemble an early era NES game. Like, if you pass that off to someone as an early NES game... Okay, that time I definitely pressed down and the game just didn't register. I think if you press the directions too quickly, the game just doesn't like it. No, it works now. But when I'm trying to get an apple, it doesn't work. I do enjoy the sound effects in this. Like, the sound is sparse, but it's enjoyable. How many apples do you need? It's like 10 to beat the level. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't actually have a count on screen, so you just have to guess. Oh, here we go. I do remember, I swear there was a ROM hack of this. I don't know if it was Inventor or someone else where they just changed the title. They called it something like Snakes 2002. And maybe there are like bootleg consoles similar to this that have that on it. Of course, this has the original, albeit a hacked version. Oh, okay, what am I doing? Okay, now I'm just playing like an idiot. Well, it's fine. I get as many attempts as I want to do this. Oh, great. And it's spawned it in the corner. That's wonderful. Yeah, couldn't stop me then, could you, game? I don't know if this game was ever completed. If it is, I've never seen that version. Can someone look that up? Was there ever any further iterations of this? Oh. Wait, okay, is this intentional? Okay, so it's... Okay, it's like level 1, but it's smaller, I guess. Maybe this is the last level. Maybe they just... You know, they got up to this point and then just didn't really know what to do. Oh, no, it is different. Yeah, infinite lives, no score system. I imagine if this game was finished, they would have programmed that in. Oh, no. See, this one's going to be a ball buster. Yeah, like, look at this. Ugh! It's like that one really awful level in Super Mario Kart. And I'm going to say straight up, I'm honestly not a big fan of the original Super Mario Kart. I really feel like that's one of those series where you really have to... It's really only good in 3D. Also, yeah. Maybe if I was playing this without the stream capture device set up, I could do this. But, yeah, doing this with the capture device, with the game being as fast as it is, no less. Like, the game speed is not helping at all. Like, this game is too fast. Yeah, I just have to pray the apples keep spawning over on the left side. And the problem is, too, sometimes I press, like, a direction and the game just doesn't respond to it. I don't know if it's maybe one of those where if you press a diagonal, it just ignores the input. Because there are games like that. Okay. Oh, we're getting somewhere now. So it seems like the apples keep spawning towards the left. Oh, you bastard! Yeah, this level sucks. This is just like... It's like we need to hide the fact that we never finished it by just putting some super hard level in it. Yeah, like, how are you meant to time that? I guess... Ah, I think I figured it out. But, like, when you have to press 2 directions, like, really fast, like, this game isn't really... I don't think the controls in this game are really built for that, because you can't anticipate corners like in Pac-Man. This game isn't really... Yeah, this is not Pac-Man, basically. Oh! And it's so hard to time it. Again, it is like that one really shitty level in Super Mario Kart. And you know, you want to know why Mario Kart 64 was the better game? It's because it didn't have... Was it Vanilla Lake? Is that the level I'm thinking of? Oh, good. Oh! You know what? Yeah, maybe Fire Dragon was the better game, because as far as I'm aware, this level wasn't in it. Like, did Rattler's Race have a level like this? If it did, I never got that far into it. Yeah, I can see the real issues with the control in this game. Just the fact that you can't anticipate corners. Like, if you try to press multiple directions, like, you try to roll the D-pad, the game hates that. Like, you cannot roll the D-pad in this game, and that makes it, like, it makes a level like this, like, 10 times harder to play than it should be. Like, originally it's hard anyway, so making it harder by not even... I mean, granted, I'd imagine maybe if the game was completed, they would have done that maybe the controls would have been fixed, but in this form, yeah, let's just keep crashing until the game decides to spawn an apple on the left. Yeah, the one thing that's going to get me through this level is if I just spam the pause button. Okay, and if you hold start... Okay, so you can't hold the D-pad and press start. Like, the game just ignores the D-pad input completely. It's like, why is this game... Again, I don't get why this game is on this console, because obviously it's homebrew. And again, this version of the game, at least, is incomplete. See that for a maneuver? Ugh. Yeah, this level sucks. Like, this is one of those, like, levels that completely just tanks the game. It's kind of the problem. Like, there are certain games where you have one level so bad that it just tanks the overall game's quality. It's like King's Knight is kind of, like, the ultimate example of that to me. Where, like, the first 4 levels aren't that bad, but then you get to level 5 and it's, like, the hardest thing ever. And you're like, okay, but why is the level this hard? Like, there's no reason for it to be. This is almost like the equivalent of level 5 in King's Knight. Like, just don't have, like, one-tile gaps like this. Like, the game wasn't built for it. Or, if you're going to do that, at least make the game a bit slower so you can time it. Because half the time the thing goes, like, 2 spaces, and then you end up missing the thing. Like, and you notice that, like... Maybe it's more obvious if you're the one actually playing it, but the speed kind of fluctuates at times. I don't know what's going on with that. And again, the real problem with this, sometimes the game will just straight up ignore your inputs. Like, because I was pressing left, and the game wasn't registering left at all. Yeah, here I am critiquing someone's homebrew project that never got finished. Here's a better idea. Don't include homebrew games on a console like this, especially if they're not finished. Like, if it's not finished, why would you include it? It's like, I guess they're like, well, we already included, like, 120 nice code games, so we may as well include this as well. Because it's not like you could really get much worse than... Because you really can't do worse than Wonder Ball, let's face it. Even a game that's 25% complete and has this level in it is still light years ahead of that. And, again... hello, Electric Boogaloo, how you doing? Here I am, attempting to play Nibbles. Oh, sucks. Like, I really wish there was, like, a slow the game down button. Like, start is the closest thing I have. But this is one of those games where start only gets you so far because of just the way that the game doesn't like responding to the controls properly. Again, I just chalk that up to this being a homebrew game. Okay, what does the finished version of this game look like? Because now I'm interested. Oh, you bastard. Yeah, here's a better idea. Don't spawn the apples into the corners ever. Like, there should just be a rule where they're just not allowed to do that. Okay, total concentration. Oh, you piece of shit! I pressed down! Arse. Well, I was alright, and then I got to this shitty level in the snake clone. I feel like you have to, like, RNG the thing. Like, the only way to beat this game is to, like, either use save states or just get, like, RNG to have it so the apples only spawn on, like, the left half of the level. But I swear, like, sometimes it like, moves twice before you can actually press the controller. Doesn't really... It doesn't make sense. Like, again, the game is way too fast. This would honestly be a lot easier if the game was in PAL mode. Like, this is the one time where I wish this console was in PAL mode. Especially when the game, like, constantly fluctuates in terms of speed, and it fucks up my movement. Because, like, I press it, and because I'm, like, one tile off, I crash. Yeah, this is... Ugh. Yeah, this is like one of those you gotta have total concentration to do it. Yeah, like, again, the speed just, like, fluctuates all over the place. Like, what even does that? Like, was the game coded in BASIC or something? Why is it like this? Yeah, and whenever the apple spawns on the right, I'm just gonna crash. I think this is the most that anyone has ever played this game, certainly on stream. Can't believe I'm getting excited over Snake. But I did used to play Snake a lot on phones back in the day. You know. We had the old Nokia. Then, you know the experience. Ugh. Hoping this is the last level. Oh no! Why do you do this? Like, just... there should be some kind of, like, programming in this where it's, like, programmed in such a way where there are certain tiles where the apples simply cannot spawn, but you're allowed to go into those bits. Yeah, this is some real Nintendo hard bollocks. Yeah, it's like, you want to know what Snake would have been like if it had been released on the NES back in the day? Probably would have been like this. Yeah, I'll do that once I'm done with this game. I need to... Oh, see, every single time it does this stupid shit. And when the snake is this long, it really doesn't help. Oh! I did it! You know what? I earned that win, and you cannot say I did not. I am 70ing that game's completed counter so hard. But I will play this for you as well.
Quit your jibber jabber! You ain't hurt! You pathetic! Ah!
Yeah, I think that sums it up. But there we go. That is Nibbles. I might need to look into the finished version of that eventually. You know, I did actually beat Socket on the Mega Drive, and I was playing it on my PAL Mega Drive. Maybe if I played that on my NTSC, like in NTSC mode, maybe I wouldn't have finished it. Sometimes it can make the difference. What else do we have? I mean, we have to play Milk and Nuts. There's no way I can't play Milk and Nuts. I mean, it's called Milk and Nuts, except it's not actually called that at all. It's called Nuts and Milk, because whoever made the menu got the name mixed up. You ever heard of this one? I mean, if you've played, like, Pirate Multicarts, you probably know this game. That's the thing. Most of the games on this page are kind of, yeah, games that are commonly found on multicarts and that sort of thing. Yeah, Nuts and Milk. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this game. Like, this game is fine, but it's not, like, my favourite game ever or anything. I'm like, this is a decent game. I do like the character designs. Just like a pink thing. like, what am I even playing as? Where's my character's name? Milk. I want to play as Milk, the amorphous pink blob. Yeah, here we go. Can't stop me that quickly. I think there is a way in this where you can skip levels. I think it's like if you press select, then it works. Also, yeah, getting the timing on that spring, I don't know how you do it consistently. I feel like the only way to do that consistently is maybe if you... what is it? Yeah, it's maybe if you use a turbo controller, and even then I'm not sure if it works. So it's just like, timing it, you gotta do it to like the frame. If you're off by a frame, it doesn't count it. So good luck with that. And yeah, once you get to levels like this, where you're expected to do it like multiple times in a jump, yeah, good luck with that. Like, watch this. Especially with the delay, with the, yeah, like, this is like next to impossible. Because the timing is already like crazy tight anyway. Like Super Mario Brothers, they give you like a window to do it, where you get like a few frames. You know, it's a challenge, but it's reasonable. Like, they give you enough time to correct it. I think when they made Super Mario Brothers, they took notes from this game. They realized, yeah, this whole spring jumping thing is way too hard. We need to make it We need to make it so that it's more forgiving in terms of, like, the timing. Or maybe you can just hold the button down. Yeah, pause and select. That's how you choose levels in this, or rather skip levels. That's just, and that's not a cheat with these like multi-carts or anything. That's just built into the game. Also, you can't jump on the ladders because the game's like that. Here we go. Hold on, let me. Does holding down the button work? Maybe that's the secret. Okay, if that's the case, then I apologise for the comment I made earlier, struggling as hard as I did. Ugh. Where you have to, now you have to use the spring. Okay, so you can hold down the button and it works. That's fine. Here we go. Wait, can I get this thing killed or not? Some levels it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so yeah, I remember struggling with those springs in the past. It turns out I was just doing it wrong the whole time. Maybe this game is better than I remember. Now that I've got that figured out. Welcome to level milk. Well, I haven't died yet, so that's a good sign. I say that, which means I'm probably about to lose. Ugh. Oh god. Okay. Welcome to the nuts level. Not the one from Doom that just like crashes your PC. This looks a little bit like that level of Donkey Kong Jr. actually. Slightly. Maybe I'm just talking out my talking out my bum. Quite possibly. You know, playing this console has kind of made me realise, you know, I'm actually not a huge fan of Donkey Kong Jr. It's just not as good as the other ones. In my opinion. I don't know what it is. I mean, Donkey Kong 3, I would say, is my favourite. Though it is certainly better than the maths game that they did. Yeah, thankfully the computer isn't smart enough to... Oh. No, I'm probably about to lose, I think. Okay, how do I get that apple? Yeah, the timing on this is weird. Okay. So there's an obvious solution to this that I'm missing. I think this game has 50 levels. Someone tells me I'm probably not going to get through all of them. Oh. Okay, turns out that was the secret. That's all you had to do. Is just do a regular jump and it works. Oh god. Okay, this, I never figured out the timing on it. If you do it to like an exact frame, you can do it so that... Hold on. Does doing it from the other side work? Let me try this. Nope! Because I can't land on the thing to let me do that. Maybe I have to do it from the very edge of the block. It's like some Action 52 style movement. Yeah, like, how are you meant to do that? I swear there's a way you can, like, step off the thing and you drop straight down. But it's like, if you don't do it on the exact frame, the game just doesn't count it. I think it's one of those. Like, I swear you can do that. Yeah, so, like, I can do that, but I can't get the other banana, which doesn't really work. And that doesn't give you enough distance, so what's the point? Okay, am I remembering this incorrectly? Is it possible to drop straight down in this? Because I swear that's a thing you can do. Yeah, okay, so that is a thing you can do. The game is just really strict about the timing on it. Well, I was tapping it, though. That's the thing. Like, I was, you know, trying to tap my way to the edge of the platform, and the game just wasn't doing it. Well, I'm on round 10, at least. So that's something. Also, I think this was, wasn't this an MXX game originally? It was on one of those, like, obscure Japanese computers that the rest of the world kind of ignored. I'm sure this was on one of those originally, and then they made this version. Wait, what's going on with the capture device? Okay, for a second I thought the display was messed up. No, I think we're good. Okay, round 11. Okay, well, this one seems easy enough. As long as I don't miss the jump. Oh, great. So if there's like a 2-block gap, you have to be at the very edge of the platform to make... Look at that. Like, that should have counted as, like, making the jump. Unless I'm, like, supposed to press jump or something, but if so, the game doesn't make that obvious enough. Like, it's... like, it's too cryptic. I think it's the problem with the game. The controls just... It's just not obvious enough on, like, how to do things. It's like, it's either, like, cryptic in a way that it really shouldn't be, or the game is just too strict in terms of placement. It's like the game should not be that strict with regards to, like, placement on the object. Like, it just straight up should not do that. I think that's the problem with the game. It's just kind of arbitrarily too difficult in... Like, it's kind of... It's good, but it's also... There are areas where you're like, okay, you really should have toned down the difficulty at least a little bit. In this sense. Like, the jump should not be that hard to do. It's like, yeah, because if you don't... yeah, like, how am I supposed to make this jump? Like, why is the jump this hard? It's like, okay, if you don't do it on the exact frame, you miss the jump. It's like an Action 52 jump, as I was saying earlier. It's like, what was it, Bubblegum Rosie has a jump like that, and a lot of people couldn't figure it out. It's like that. Yeah, also good luck doing that. Frame 12. Someone tells me I'm probably not going to beat this level. At least I'm going to do this. Yeah, like, you can't do anything there. Like, it takes way too long to get out of that, like, knockdown animation. So either you have to go a different way, or maybe you have to use turbo controller. I don't know. But there we go, that's nuts and milk. Not a chance in hell have I ever beaten all 50 levels of that without just skipping a whole bunch of them. Yeah, I have to use a HD converter. This uses AV output. There's no HDMI on this console. You know, let's just get the board games out of the way. Just because they're dull. So, Naitou. This is also known as Shougi. So, yeah, this is just a game version of Shougi. I am amused by the art style in this one. Where you just, like... It's like you're a salaryman who decided to play Shougi against... I don't even know what that is. Is it meant to be a machine? Like, what's going on with that? So, great. Well, captured the piece. Yeah, so if you don't know what this is, by the way. So, if you don't know what Shougi is, it's similar to chess. Effectively, chess was originally... It was like a board game in India, and then it kind of spread across the world and kind of morphed into different forms as it headed east and west. So obviously in the west it became chess, and then in the east it became Shougi, which is what this is. Now, this is similar, but there are some key differences. First off, it's a 9x9 grid as opposed to 8x8, and the pieces are all kind of the same looking, except they just have different characters written on them, so it's a lot harder to keep track of like what pieces are what, unless you can read Japanese, I guess. So this one in the middle is the king. You've got the golden knights in, that's in between, which they can only move one space, and then the silver knights, which are next to those, they can also only move one space, but it's odd. I think these ones in the corners can only move forward until they get, like, all the way to the other end of the board. I don't know. To be honest, this is probably one of those games that I'm going to end up skipping through, because there's really not a whole lot to say about this one. Like, again, this is literally just, yeah, I mean, you see what it is. And for what I remember, Shougi is one of those games that generally takes ages to play, even if you're, like, really rubbish at it, like I am. To be honest, I only know this much because of the 51 Worldwide Games, where it's, you know, here's a whole bunch of, like, traditional board games on collection. And, you know, there's 51 games, and yeah, you have Shougi, but then you also have mini Shougi, which is, I guess, like the same thing, except it's on a 4x4 grid, and you have one of each tile, I think. I mean, I could try to lose on purpose, but honestly, I think with this game, even if I was actively trying to lose, it would still take quite a while to do. It's kind of the problem with playing Shougi on stream, is that while this isn't a bad game by any means, but there are tons of Shougi games. Most of them are going to be more advanced than this, just you know, via the advancement of technology, really. And I'm like, you know, this isn't a bad game. Like, I wouldn't mind playing this 2-player, but I don't think this game even has a 2-player option. If it does, I don't remember. It's like, yeah. Hold on. Am I allowed to use the captured pieces? Wait, was that... Wait, did I just undo the computer's move? What happened there? Okay, I don't really get this. I know I'm on turn 26. Besides that, I don't really know. Oh, it's a problem. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this one can move backwards diagonally, but it can't move backwards. Yeah. Actually, can I lose just by playing it like this? Does that happen? Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't really get the whole... I must admit, I don't understand the whole... yeah. Okay, so I guess you can literally just put yourself into checkmate, which is quite funny. I wasn't expecting the game to allow me to do that. Because I think normally in chess games it will actually warn you that you're about to do that, and then it gives you the option to not do that. Anyway. So that's Shougi. Maybe I should try to learn that more one day. Again, I do kind of get the gist of the game, but I've never really sat down and played it properly. Let's play Mahjong 2-player from 1983. I don't actually remember what the difference is between the difficulties. I think it's just how hard the computer is. So yeah, I want to play some Mahjong. Again, I'm probably going to end up just skipping through this. I think I'll play like one hand of this and then I'll just move on. Because there's really not much to see with this game. Yeah, is it tea time? You know what the problem is with all these with all these Mahjong games? It's the fact that they're always based on Uchi Mahjong, which is kind of like the main version of Mahjong in Japan. And I'm not gonna lie, I could never get my head around Uchi Mahjong. Like it's alien to me. And like I've tried learning it via the 51 Worldwide Games thing, and to this day I don't get it. I mean, I get the appeal of Mahjong as a game. I mean, I like the Taiwanese versions, if anything. Like, I have those like Taiwan Mahjong games that, what was it, the Sachin put out on the Famicom. I do know, at the very least, I remember that you can get a winning hand where if you avoid the 1 and 9 tiles. That's what I'm trying to do here. So I know that's something you can do. And thankfully, I know enough about Mahjong to know what these tiles are. Like, this is 6 and this is 7. And then I've discarded the 9 and 3 tiles. Yeah, that's the problem with Uchi Mahjong. It's basically a far more complicated version of Mahjong than the other versions. And I'd imagine that the fact that this is the main version of Mahjong in Japan is probably what throws a lot of people off when it comes to like getting into it, where you kind of play it and you're like how do people how do you get your head around this version? Like, what? I don't know. Some people really like this version. So what have we got? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm just going to discard the 5, I don't really care. I mean, my experience with this game in particular is I always just discard a bunch of tiles and then the computer just wins randomly. That's always what happens when I play this. How do I take the... Ah, there we go. I was like, I actually do want to take that tile. But I couldn't remember... See, the problem is I can't read Japanese. So... Which may actually be a problem for some of the other games I still have yet to cover. Because, from what I remember, there are some other games on this console. Okay, it turns out I didn't even need to take that tile. I could have just gotten that one. But, if that's how it works, I can't remember. But yeah, there's... I'm sure there are other games on this console where they're text-heavy and they're in Japanese and there's a whole bunch of cutscenes and whatever. From what I remember of the game list on this, that may be a problem with some of the other games, and I may end up having to skip through those. So, yeah, I think we'll just finish off this hand and then probably move on, to be honest, because, again, I don't really see myself beating this one. Hold on, can I put in the coin thing? Maybe I'm not able to do that. Okay, now it's not even let me take my tile. I guess I lost. Great. Oh no, I didn't lose. It just, yeah, just ended. I thought that I could take another tile, but also, yeah, the amount of porn games based on Mahjong is staggering. like Mahjong and kicks for some reason just became kind of the default when it came to that genre. But you know what? You want to know the best part of this game? I'm actually going to take a quick break. Because you know what time it is? It's tea time. So, I'll be back in a minute so I can fill up my drink. And don't go away. Oh yes. As the game announced it, I have actually gone out of my way to make myself a cup of tea. And do you know how it's a cup of tea and not a cup of squash or coffee or anything? It's because I've got a digestive in my hands and I'm going to eat it right now. Anyway, let's, while I'm dunking this thing, let me just get the next game up here. So, you know, we've got Mahjong 2P, let's get Mahjong 4P. So we've got the 4-player version.
Quit your jibber jabber. You ain't hurt. You pathetic. Ah!
Maybe I need to do like summon scat man. Yep, that symbol. You know the one. But yeah, here we go. So this is more like your average game of Mahjong would be. I think I actually kind of prefer this one. There's something Spartan about this game, but in a way that appeals to me, I suppose. Now, I'm not sure what the win condition is for this one. Maybe you have to bankrupt one of the other players and then whoever has the most points at the end wins. Maybe. I never quite understood the score system in Mahjong, to be honest. There's something with Mahjong, I generally know the rules, but I don't know how the scoring works. Especially in Uchi Mahjong, it's just... it mystifies me. I'm just like, what? But yeah, again, I'll just play a round of this, and then we'll, okay, yeah, let's try not to play any of the bamboo tiles. See how far I get without that. So they haven't discarded any of these yet. I mean, I've got 2 of the green ones, but looks like I can't get more than 3. Yeah, I do get that, of course, bankruptcy would be a thing. I mean, Mahjong is kind of famously a gambling game. Oh, how do I... Hold on, which one of these is, you get, like, 3 of the same one? See, this is the problem. I can't actually read it, but, okay. I picked the right one. Hooray! So what have we got? Okay, so I'm actually trying not to play bamboo on this. I know a lot of people learn to play Mahjong from video games, but in particular, usually they learned it from Yakuza, I think. Which, I don't know, I never played Yakuza, it didn't really appeal to me, I've got to be honest. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know, it's just one of those things, I never got around to it. And it's one of those things that people just talk about it a lot, in a way where I'm just kind of, and I know that, like, the studio that made it, that they've basically just spent this year just, like, flushing away all of the credibility they have, so, you know, well done there. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where, you know, it's a good idea to go back and play some of the earlier games. Yeah, Shanghai I'm quite fond of. I mean, I don't mind Mahjong. I don't have anything against it. I never really got into it that much. Like, the Mahjong game that I like the most is... what was it? No, the one I like most is... what's the game called? I think it's Taiwan Mahjong 2 for the Sega... No, it's not even Sega. It's Taiwan Mahjong 2 on Famicom. Hold up. Which one of these is Ricci? It's this one, isn't it? Is that the one where it puts the coin on the table, or is it just not letting me do that? Yeah, I'm just going to keep running until it lets me win. Nope, and apparently I lost. Great. Well, I think that's a cue for me to move on to something that I have a better idea on what's going on. Also, I will take a sip of the tea. I don't know much about Mahjong, but I know a lot about tea. Give me that black tea, give me that Earl Grey, give me the lemon and ginger, especially when my throat is not in the best condition. Actually, what do we have left? So we have Millipede, Merry Brothers, Mappy, Yeah, I think that's it. I think we've done everything else. Okay, let's play Mappy. Because I like Mappy. Actually, I like all these games that are left. Yeah, because I can do that. I was never good at Mappy, but... I don't know. It's one of those games that's infamous in certain corners of... No! Certain corners of the internet. And apparently I'm also rubbish at it. Oh yeah, Arizona. Is that like the one with the giant can? I remember finding... I don't know if it was import or not. I don't remember. But I know it's one of those things that's, like, common in America. But, yeah. Something tells me I probably won't get very far into this. I want to at least try to beat the, bonus level. Oh, come on! I was on the trampoline. I don't care what the game says. My Mappy's that old. Yeah. This one kind of just puts you in a bad place to start with. And I swear, sometimes you try to close the door and it just doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being particularly rubbish at this game today. I'm not usually this bad at it. I think it's just a case that I just haven't played this game in ages, so the game just decided it wanted to be an arse. Well, there you go. That's your whole minute of not Flappy, Mappy that I'm allowed to play. Flappy is on this console, but I've already played it, I think. Yeah, I must have done, because really, these are kind of the last early era games that you tend to find on multicarts a lot. After this, it's pretty much all going to be later era games that you don't see as much. And there's also one page of nice code games left. Okay, let's see if I can survive Millipede for more than a minute.
Quit your jibber jabber. You ain't hurt. You pathetic. Ah!
Yeah, I think that last run called for that. Let's be honest. But yeah, Millipede, or as people who make these multicarts, sometimes they misread it as Millipeckle just because of the way the logo looks. Now this game, I think I can do a little bit better in. Yeah. See, I'm already doing better. I didn't get killed in the first few seconds. And hey, I beat a level. I didn't get killed yet. Yeah. Though the problem with this game is that, basically, if you stay too long on one level, it just keeps spawning in, like, a Millipede head. And then it just takes forever to beat the level. Like, I often just find myself having to get killed to then be able to try it again, so it doesn't do that. I like this, though. I always liked how Millipede had a little bit more variation in the levels than Centipede. Not much more, but enough that I take note. Yeah! See all those points I got? That's pretty good. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's just me being rubbish. I just, like, moved straight into it. It's always funny to me that the original versions of this were, like, they used a trackball. I don't know. I always thought that this... Like, I always felt that this game plays perfectly fine with a D-pad. I never really minded with it. I don't know. Like, if you told me that this game used a trackball, I'd be like, oh, bastard. Yeah, it's like the whole thing with the trackballs in this. Oh, good. Now it's only 2 at a time, so yeah, I'm really not going to get very far with this. I do know the game loops after level 16, so if I can get that far, if I can beat that level, then count that as a win, I guess. Oh, wait, what's this? I don't remember this bit. Like, just moves all of the mushrooms? Okay, round 11. Well, I'm already doing better than I did with Mappy. I'm like 11 levels into this. Also, yeah, I'm one of those people who will just hold the fire button down and hope for the best. Spray and pray. Oh, here we go. Round 12. I like the game has to pause a little bit to move everything on the screen. So, like, what is mode B on this? Like, I mean, it's already spawning, like, 3 spiders at a time, and this is game A. Like, I dread think what mode B on this. Is that just straight up arcade difficulty? Because is the arcade version really harder than this? Maybe. I genuinely can't remember. Also, it's really kind of cheesing. It's really irritating that the Millipedes can go, like, to the bottom row on the screen. Like, you can't shoot them, because you can only shoot up. And when there's like 15 spiders on screen at the same time, good luck. Doesn't help they move so slow that you... Like, if they're at the bottom of the screen, you just kind of have to wait. Maybe I don't want to wait. Maybe I just want to beat the level. And, yeah, something tells me I'm probably not beating this. Especially how happy the game is just spawning spiders every, like, 10 frames. Ooh. Nope, that was too early. Great. And also the fact that it's one of those, like, really... yeah, one of those really badly segmented centipedes. They're, like, near impossible to hit. Yeah, the explosion's just... They're not quite big enough to be effective, unless you're really good at timing it. Yes, I did see the Galaga port that was made recently, which was, like, part of the same set that had this game and, like, Joust and Defender 2. But, yeah, the graphics don't seem to exist anymore, so they just had to recreate them from scratch. Okay, let's finish off with some Mario Brothers, which they they couldn't even be bothered to put a logo on the screen, because whoever hacked this game was an idiot. Okay, let's see if I can play this for, like, more than 2 levels. You know, I've played some Mario Brothers in my time, though really I'm more accustomed to this on the Game Boy Advance, because they had the Super Mario Advance series. I didn't have all of them, I had the first 2, and I've got to be honest, I actually prefer how this game plays on that. Like, the fact that you can't turn around in the air is just awkward, and I don't like that. It's one of those things, like, you're like, this is good for 1983, but you're like, I wish it controlled more like Super Mario Bros. A little bit. And it's funny, I'm sure that there are some people out there who actually prefer this to all the games that came after this. I mean, I kind of get that. I prefer Super Mario 1 to Mario 3, personally. Even though the general consensus seemed to be that Mario 3 is the better game. I just never liked it as much. Like, even, like, having played through it fairly recently, I'm just like, again, it's like, as I was saying earlier, I'm like, this is a good game, it's just not, like, the best. I'm just like, I don't think it's as good as people want me to believe. But this game, I quite like. But, yeah, so there is a better version of this that got released, like, a decade after the original. It's really weird. But it only got released in parts of Europe, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't released in the UK. I don't know. It's one of those things. They were just like... The thing about, like, European exclusives on the NES is that often they were only released in specific parts of Europe. Like, you know, Banana Prince, for instance, which is on this console, was only released in Germany. You know, on the NES, specifically. But then you have, you know, like, the 1993 version of this game, where you essentially have... It's kind of like an enhanced version of this. You know, like I would say they took this game and enhanced it, which is kind of true. But they effectively reworked the whole thing. Also, yeah, like, my timing skills have gone completely out of window. I don't know if it's, like, I just woke up tired. Well, no, because I took a nap earlier, so that can't be it. Yeah, I think Nibbles just, like, messed up my ability to time anything. Yeah, it's just, I'm incapable of timing things today. Like, if it involves timing, it's not happening. Not today. Just why I can't really do games like Mappy right now. Because Mappy is kind of built around that. Yeah, well, it's like the well, the thing is, that's 2-player only. Like, you can't access that in the single-player mode. I don't know why, but you just can't. Also, yeah, nice code. I mean, there are certain games they just like taking sound effects from. Like, weirdly enough, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is one of them, which is kind of hilarious, because I think the AVGM made that video around the time that they were making those horrible games. Also, yeah, this game is kind of set up where you have to keep moving between the different rows. Otherwise, it keeps spawning those, like, green things that just kill you. Like the fireballs. Also, yeah, I'm just doing rubbish on this today. Normally, I'm better. It's kind of the problem whenever I stream games. sometimes I'm better than usual, but most of the time I'm, like, significantly worse, because I'm having to, like, commentate while playing it. And, you know, just in case you don't know, you try to play these games and commentate at the same time, it is genuinely a lot harder, usually, because you're having to put a lot of effort into doing the commentary while playing it. So you're kind of having to divert a lot of your attention away from the game to do that. So it's kind of a shame that this version doesn't have the intros showing off the different enemy types. I think it may just be a limitation of the ROM size, maybe. Because I know that the European version of this that got released later, because there were two versions released in Europe. There was this version, and then there was the... I think it only got released in Germany and Italy. I don't think it got released anywhere else. It's what I've read anyway. Again, I'm pretty certain it wasn't released in the UK. Because I've certainly never seen copies anywhere. Not that I tend to see many NES games in general, but I certainly never saw that one. Oh, were they missing a corner? What's going on there? Hold on, let me try looking at that. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm on the wrong level. Maybe they start spawning in. Also, I got past that. Maybe the hit detection is just stricter in this game. I don't know. Like, compared to the arcade version. Though, again, this is one of those... I grew up with this on Game Boy Advance, and I'm not going to lie, I prefer that version to this. I just think it straight up plays better. Like, it certainly controls a lot better. Like, this is... It's almost like ice climber controls. You just have no control over your jump, and that just kind of feels bad. Yeah, I don't know if that's a problem with the stream. It may just be a problem with the ROM. Maybe. But I think that's all the games on this page. Yeah, that is definitely it. Because, again, I did do Muscle last time, so I've done that. Anyway. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a few pages left. Okay, so next up, we have page 8. So let's go back to page 8. That's games 71 to 80, as you can see here. We haven't done these yet, but this is going to be a difficult one. I don't know how long these games will take, actually. I guess we'll see. But yeah, so Mario 14, I've been looking forward to that one. Werewolf, which if you've ever heard of Werewolf, this is just that. I've also got the Kunio games, or Nekketsu, or whatever you're supposed to call it. I don't know. Like, does this series even have a name? Besides, Fighting Man decides to do a whole load of sports. I don't know. But yeah, there are so many of these on Famicom. I'm amazed it's taken this long to get to them. Because they do tend to feature quite heavily on these kind of systems as well. Captain Tsubasa VO. Voiceover. 10-Yard Fight 9 to 10. Okay, so I think these two games here, I think these may actually be the last, like, early Famicom games for real that we're going to see. I think after today, we are not going to see any more games like this. It's going to be all stuff like, you know, Kunio and Mario 14. You know, let's just get Captain Tsubasa out of the way first. To be honest, this is another game that I think I'm just going to end up skipping through. And, yeah, if you want to know why, well, it might just be because the whole game is in Japanese. So if you don't know, this was basically a game adaptation of... It was, like, based on anime, I think. And there was a whole series of these games. 2 of them got released on Famicom, and then they released a whole bunch of them for other systems. And, yeah, so if you don't know... Well, firstly, there's a lot of flashing effects, so do look away from the screen if you're epileptic. But also... I don't know how deinterlacing works. I just have it set to the default, and I don't know if I can change it with this converter thing that I've got. But yeah, like, they made so many of these. And again, there are 2 of these on Famicom. Also, the jewels remain still gleaming. It's kind of funny that I'm playing this just in time for the World Cup. I think there is a Kunio football game on the page as well. Maybe we'll take a look at that. But yeah, Captain Tsubasa 2. It's really funny that they put this on here, because Captain Tsubasa 1 did get localized for the NES, but this one didn't. And I've got to be honest, of all of the games that are on this system, this might be the game whose inclusion I understand the least. I have no idea why they included this. Because the game is all in Japanese, it's text heavy, it's like full of cutscenes, and it's primarily menu driven from what I remember. So if you're not fluent in Japanese, good luck playing it. You know, like even the nice code games, I understand why they're included on here more than this. Because with those games, I can just look at it and say, well, those games are on here because the person that made the console, or the company, whatever, they wanted to brag about how many games they had, and those games are small enough where it's easy to bulk up the game count by just including them. But this, I'm pretty sure, is one of the largest games on this console, so it definitely wasn't done for that reason. And again, I really can't imagine anyone wanting to play this unless they were fluent in Japanese. Maybe if they put an English translated version on here, I would understand it. But this isn't that. Like, it's all in Japanese, and again, there's a lot of menus and stuff. So, again, I'm probably not going to play this for more than a couple of minutes. You know, again, maybe if this was in English, I'd give it a go, but in this form, no. Like, it's not really worth doing it in this form. And, like, what is wrong with this man's face? Like, did he grow whiskers on his chin again? Are they just... Does he have some really bad scars? Like, what are those lines? I don't get it. Yes, the legendary coach Michael Finnegan. You know, everyone's favourite. But I guess this is how we ended up after that nursery rhyme. And whoever this is... I've never seen this show, by the way, so I have no context to what's going on. And the fact that I can't read the text doesn't really help. And... Okay, so if I press select, it skips it. You know, it annoys me too, because I know enough about this game. Okay, firstly, the shaky text is not helping. But I know enough about this game to know that this does continue off from the plot of the original. And again, this is very story-driven. So why you would include this and not the original, I don't know. Again, the first game was localized. It didn't have the license, and, I mean, the art style for the localized version is horrible. Like... The characters, they look like aliens who have taken on, like they're trying to, like, pretend to be human. They kind of have that look to them. And, you know, it's like in Men in Black, where you have, like, the villain who, like, kills a man, and he takes on the form of the man. That's what the art style in the localized version of the first game of this reminds me of. So, yeah, this is how this game works. So, if you don't know... Yeah, this is... So, yeah, this is how this game is. It's just... It's like they tried to combine a football game with an RPG. Okay, take care, Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, it's like they tried to combine a football game with an RPG. And I'm just going to say straight up, that's basically my own personal hell. Like, I would rather play a nice code game over this. Because this is basically taking two things that I don't like and just combining them, and it's just like... No, I don't want to do this. Like, some people really like these games. Like, this is one of those niche things. Like, there's an audience for this sort of thing. Also, I don't even know how you trigger the menu. I guess if you press B, sometimes it works. Like, I know this says pass. So, like, if I pass it to number 11... Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's try... Okay, which one shoots? So that's pass. Which one is shoot? No, that's dribble, isn't it? Okay, this is shoot. Okay, I can at least read that. Yeah, as I say, like, again, this style of game, like, this is... It's pretty much designed to appeal to me as least as possible, let's put it that way. Like, this is the kind of thing where... Like, this might be really good, it's just that there's just no chance that I personally would like it. It's just that style of thing. So, if we try dribbling, probably doesn't work against two players, and also, I guess one of them got fouled, maybe. Yeah, I could at least read enough Japanese to know that says shoot. But, yeah. Okay, maybe... I take back what I said about the nice code thing. There are some nice code games I would play over this, just because I have a better handle on how to do it. I mean, I will say this, graphically it's quite nice. Soundtrack's good. Again, this is one of those very niche things. Like, if you happen to be a big fan of RPG, like turn-based RPGs and football games, then, you know, sure. You know, this might be for you. But, yeah, this is not really what I want to be doing personally. And the fact that it's all in Japanese really does not help. Again, if this was in English, I would totally get this game being on here. But again, it's just... it's mysterious. I mean, there are plenty of games on this console that are in Japanese. But most of them, they're kind of just straight-ahead action games, where mostly it's, like, pretty obvious what to do. But again, this one, there's a lot of menus and stuff. I mean, it's like they might as well have put in, like, Dragon Quest IV on this. Like, untranslated. Also, yeah, I scored somehow. It's not that I can't play this game, it's more that I just don't really care to. You know, if I wanted to mess about with menus in a football game, I would rather just play like a football management game. Might as well just watch this. It's like, ugh! Anyway. Yeah, and sometimes the game just does this. It's just, you got this cutscene that goes on for like half an hour. Anyway. That's pretty much what I'm going to do with that. Now, you want a football game that appeals more to my tastes. I mean, we may as well play the football now. You gotta watch the football, it's gonna move. But yeah, this is a game that's more the sort of thing that I would play. Again, I'm probably not going to play this long because... again, it's all in Japanese, and it's not translated or anything. And this game also has quite a bit in terms of menus. But yes, Kunio-kun's Nekketsu Soccer League. So, yeah, you might know a game on the NES called Nintendo World Cup. And, yeah, if you ever played that... hold on. What? How do you do the power shot again? It's like you have to run a certain amount of steps, isn't it? But I can't remember how many. Also, yeah, 1993, this was super late. Like, this was... like, when the Famicom was on its last legs. So if you want to know why this game never got localized, well... it's kind of your reason right there. Oh, wait, how do you do that move? I think I looked up how to do this once. Yeah, so it's like you have to press A, B, and back at the same time, and it works. Okay. But yeah, if you want to know why this game never got localized, well, there's your reason. Yeah, like, I gotta be honest, I couldn't even tell you what these menu options are. I think this might be, like, maybe tournament mode, versus mode, and penalty kick, I assume. I'll just have a quick go on this. And, yeah, I don't remember... okay, so this, I think you have to pick the team to play against. So we'll just go for the default. Yeah, Nekketsu versus Korea. So, yeah, South Korea. I must admit, I never actually got around to this game. This is the problem with the Kunio games on this. Not only are they all in Japanese, they're mostly games I haven't really played, to tell you the truth. I know this is, like, pick the music. And there's some very, like, Brazilian-style tunes in this. So I think this is formation, if I remember. Yeah, because you can pick the formation. So I don't really need to do that. I'd rather just have one player in the middle. And then we say, well, no, because I don't really need to mess about with that. So, if I remember correctly, because I think I did look at a translated version of this, I can't remember what some of these options do. I know there's one for if you want the computer teammates to dribble or shoot. Just go for the middle for those. I think this might be... so this, I think, is tackle. So just get them to tackle all the time. This one is just get them to mark the play as well. I'd rather just tackle. From what I remember, that's the best way to play this. Because there's no fouls. Certainly not in Nintendo World Cup. And this is kind of the sequel to that. If you've never played this. But, yeah, Nintendo World Cup is definitely a personal favourite. So there we go. There's one nice shot there. I was expecting him to just get knocked over. Also, yeah, this is one of those games where you play one player the whole time. Oh yeah, I forgot about the weather conditions in this. That's one thing they added for this sequel, because that wasn't in the original. Where they would just have different weather conditions. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna run. And rainy conditions, this is not helping. We in Britain? What's with all the lightning? And the weather's also going against us. Or the wind is going against us. That's not good. Oh. Yeah. I'm not actually sure how this compares to the original. Like, is this game... Oh yeah, I could do the worm. I forgot that was a thing you could do in this. But yeah. Was this, I can't remember. Is this game, like, harder than the original? Or am I just, like, inexperienced a bit? In terms of how it varies, I'm not sure. I do... I'm amused by the fact that the ball turns into, like, the yin-yang symbol. Yeah, they had some fun with this one. Ugh. Can't catch up to them. The wind is stopping me. Yeah, it's a lot harder to score in this compared to the original. I do remember in Nintendo World Cup, like, the first couple of matches were essentially gimmies. Like, the game didn't really get hard. Or it's like, well, hard. It didn't really get... The computer opponents didn't really get that hard until, like, later on in the game. In this one, they kind of just start out hard. Like, they start out a lot more defensively minded, maybe. Where in Nintendo World Cup, you could pretty much just score at will for the first few matches. And that doesn't really work here. Like, I can't even pass. Like, as soon as I try to pass, they just immediately tackle me before I even get the chance to do that. Oh, and I guess the ball went out of play. Sure. Wait, what's going on? Oh, half-time. But yeah. This is one of those games I really need to spend some more time with this one off stream. Now let's change the formation. See if this helps. So I don't know if these characters have different stats. This one almost looks like James Rolfe, but with, like, sunglasses. We'll bring him in. Let's bring the one in with the funny glasses, like me. The one with the headband. Yeah, we'll do that. Again, maybe they have different stats, because I know in the first game of this, like, the team you played as had different stats to everyone else. Okay, let's change up the stats a little bit. Let's also change the music. Yeah, I'll probably just play it the rest of this match, and then we'll just move on, I think. I can't just do that, just to be funny. Obviously, I was never going to score from there, but, you know. Ugh. I don't know what the acronyms mean. Also, the wind is messing up. Okay, how do you look up the wind? Yeah, because, like, I could pause the game, but I can't go back to the menu. So, can you only change can you only change the players, like, at the halfway, like, at the halfway point in the game? Are you not allowed to make substitutions mid-game? Because that feels like a weird omission, if that's the case. It just feels like one of those things you should just be able to do. I don't know. I need to spend some more time with this game off stream. I don't think playing this in Japanese is really going to be ideal. Like, playing it in this form is not really... It's the problem. It just doesn't... This isn't really how you want to be playing it. Like, there is that Double Dragon Kunio collection, and if you want to play this game, I would say get that collection, because they actually did translate all of the games that weren't already localized. And, yeah, I mean, that's really how you want to be playing this. Like, you know, playing this in English, they have, like, you know, the menu options. Also, wow, a great goalkeeping there, just passing it to the other team. See, I can't hold the ball for more than a few seconds. I don't know if maybe, like, the easy difficulty in this is equivalent to the difficulty in the first game. Maybe that's the problem. Oh. Wait, is he doing the super shot? Yeah! Ugh! No, bastard! I actually scored. Hooray! I have a goal! I'm not completely awful at the game. Just mostly. You know what's funny too? I did beat Nintendo World Cup. I think it was the Game Boy version that I finished. Ugh. Oh. Yeah, thankfully that shot isn't really that effective. No, shoot it! Hoof it up the pitch! Just go full... yeah, just go full Sam Allardyce. Ooh, and also a headbutt shot though, that's pretty good. Oh, hold on. You can do like... It's like a double dash or something. Oh, I did it! I won the game! Japan wins. I wonder if you can choose any team you want in the multiplayer mode. I know in Nintendo World Cup, only the default team gets like custom stats for each player, where every other team, every single player is identical, but they just have different, like a different face, which is kind of weird. But there we go, I won. But yeah, let's quickly start a match against one of the other teams. Here we go, Nekketsu versus Germany. Probably get destroyed on this one. But let's see how this one varies. So I know one of these is the weather. Yeah, this one's just... Okay, here's the password. No, that's just stats. Yeah, here we go. Weather cloudy, chance of rain 20%. Oh, the bottom left isn't? Can I go... No, you can't go back. Won't let me. Anyway, let's just quickly look into this. I know that there are different types of football pitches, but it's just not showing those. I do know there is, like, a super dash where you can just run, like, ultra fast. I always love the face when you get hit in these games. It's just... Like, that's just a fun face. Possibly a funny face. Anyway. So that is Nekketsu Soccer 2, or whatever it's called. Yeah, there's a lot of these games, as you see here. I mean, there are 5 just on this page alone. But you know what? I think I'm done with soccer. Let's play a different type of football. Let's play some 10-yard fight. Oh yeah, you could just spam your super on that. Yeah, as I say, I did beat Nintendo World Cup, but for the Japanese ones, I might need more practice, at least for the sequel. I don't think the original plays much differently. Like, I know there are some changes in terms of structure, but I think the core gameplay is more or less the same. But yeah, 10-yard fight. Yeah, I generally know how this game works, but it's funny, I can beat the NES version of this, I can't beat this version. So this is a game where... This is the Famicom version of the game, if you don't know. And when this got localized for the NES, they basically restructured the whole thing. Like, it's weird. Like, they kind of rejigged the entire game to make it more... well, I guess make it play more like a regular American football game. And I've got to be honest, I prefer the NES version to this. If only because I'm better at it, maybe. Like, I can beat the NES version, like, what was it, like the Super Bowl mode where you play against a pink team, which is quite funny. But yeah, the arcade version is set up weirdly, where you want to keep getting first downs to extend the timer. Like, the win condition in this is strange, because if you run out of time and you don't get a touchdown, or at least score, like a field goal, then you just lose immediately. I don't fully get it. It's one of those games that this version of it mystifies me a bit. Because in this, you always play an offense. Like, even if I, like, threw a pass and it got intercepted, I would still be in offense mode. And, yeah, this is kind of the trick to play in this game. Just, like, pass it to the dude on the side. I'm sure he's got a term, I just can't remember what it is. There we go. I mean, I understand how this works. I mean, it's American football. It's a lot easier to get this game as compared to the football games I was just playing. For one thing, you don't have tons of menus to go through. And, I mean, this is really a pared-down version of the sport. It's kind of funny where you got the football games. Wait, what's going on? No, I can't get that. Okay, so if you go all the way to the end of the field, you just miss. I don't think it really matters in this case. I think all that happens there is you just get bonus points. So that's kind of whatever. Yeah, they just added a full-on defense mode to the NES version of this. Like, I'd say the NES version is almost essentially a different game. Like, it looks almost the same, but it plays more differently than you would think. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I suppose this one just plays like the arcade version. I never really played the arcade one much. But yeah, I tend to find that not defense. I tend to find that, like, passing in this game isn't really very effective. Usually it just gets intercepted. Maybe that's just me being bad at passing in these games. Ah, yes. 10-yard fight. I've got to be honest, I think with this version, I don't think I've ever gotten past the college level. Because there's like 5 levels to this game. And it's funny, in the NES version, you could just start on any level you want. But in this version, you have to work your way up. Like, you can't just skip to Super Bowl mode. Yeah, you can go out of bounds if you want. But I think the way that the timer goes down varies depending on what version you play. Like in this version, like when the player walks to the side, you know, like with the man in motion. See, I know terminology. But yeah, when you got the man in motion, you don't have the time going down. And I think it does go down in the NES version of this. It's a bit odd. Well, it's good to know the pro strats for this game. You know, I think this is the only American football game on this too. Like, there are several soccer games on this, but when it comes to American football, this is it. And it's the one that least resembles the actual sport. So, well done there. I like this game, but you know, it is annoying that they put Tecmo Bowl on the menu, even though Tecmo Bowl is not on this console. Like, it's literally Dynamite Bowl. Like, well done to whoever did that. Oh, no, okay, you're right. I forgot about... Was it John Elway's quarterback? Yeah, that is on here too. I totally forgot about that one. The kick is good, even though it went right through the players, but sure. But yeah, again, it is annoying that they put Tecmo Bowl on the list, but it's not actually on the console. So you can see here, so now we've got the college, I guess the college bowl. Also, since when are pigskins black anyway? I don't really get that. It's good. This game's pretty good. It's not like the best game ever. Again, there are better American football games on the console. But really, I would just say, when it comes to American football on the NES, essentially you have Tecmo Super Bowl, and then you just have every other game that isn't Tecmo Super Bowl, and is therefore not nearly as good. But this game works in a different way, let's put it that way. Okay, so I don't think that works very well in this version. I don't know if the timer counts down when you run out of bounds in the arcade. But, yeah, I get the feeling running out of bounds in this version, probably not advisable. Considering that all that happens is it just, yeah, means that you just end up losing time anyway. I mean, granted, the timer goes down either way, but, yeah. Just, yeah, the second arcade football game. I was going to say, this certainly wasn't the second football game ever, or, you know, hand egg, whatever. This definitely wasn't the second one ever, because I know that there were games like this on Atari 2600 and Intellivision, and I've got to be honest, I found those games to be completely inscrutable. I have no idea how you play them. And I've tried playing them, and I'm just like, I don't get this. I get how to play Tecmo Bowl, I don't get how you play, like, Atari football. Like, real sports football might also be another one of those you had to be there games. I don't know, like, I think, like, even people who are, like, big in Atari, and I love Atari 2600, but A lot of the sport games just don't really work for me. But there we go. We made it. Also, I like the horse icons in the goal area. You know, the end zone. Quite funny. Ooh. It's good! Also, my defense apparently is not good, because there's no way the opposing team should get anywhere near that close to me. Anyway, let's see if I can make it to pro level. So, who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl this year? You know, because you got the Seahawks, defending champs. Yeah, let's just hope there's no, like, dynasty. I mean, granted, yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting that with Seahawks. I think they've won, what, 2 Super Bowls ever? And somehow both of them came against New England, and one of them wasn't even the Tom Brady era Patriots. It's like somehow just like, without Tom Brady, they got to the Super Bowl, and they lost anyway. It's like how they lost twice to the Giants as well. So I'm sure that helmet graphic on the field, I'm sure that's smaller in the NES version. Like, they had to... Yeah, it's like they had to put some other graphics in the ROM, so they had to, like, cut down some of the other graphics in this. So who are we playing against? Like what yellow team is that? I mean, it's a college team. So I don't know. Wait, you can't get tackled once in the Super Bowl level? Oh, that is the worst. Yeah, I'd certainly believe that. I mean, that's the rule of thumb generally. The arcade version is typically going to be harder, but there are definitely exceptions to that, like Ghosts and Goblins. The NES version is definitely harder than the arcade version, and also just nowhere near as good. Like, even just ignoring the difficulty, even if you want a harder Ghosts and Goblins, it's also just jank in ways that the arcade game isn't. Also, ugh. Okay, I think I've got first down, so I should be okay. Okay, I think I win? Let's see. But yeah, like, note the fact that I'm on college level, and I already ran out of time. There we go. At least it's an easy field goal. Or extra point, I should say. Actually, here's a question. If you score a field goal in this mode, does it allow you to continue, or do you just get a game over? I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually tried that in this one. But yeah, we're up to pro level. Note the fact that I've only got 25 minutes, and that's 25 minutes in the game time, which means it's going to be a lot shorter than 25. Also note that, like, my defense gets significantly worse as I progress through the game. So now we're going up against, I don't know, the Washington football team. Let's just say that. Or the Commanders, if you want to use their proper name. You know, let's just try doing a pass. Oh, it actually worked. Yeah, I do know if it gets intercepted, you get sent 10 yards back. Or 20 yards back. Yeah, so I know if you get tackled, as long as you get to first down, you can continue playing. But, you know, if you don't make it to first down, you're kind of done. And again, I could never beat this version. Again, I can beat the NES version, I can't beat this one. And the NES version is very different mechanically. Again, I would say that version is notably easier than this one. Again, I managed to beat the... Again, I beat this on Super Bowl mode, and I think I actually managed to shut out the computer playing on that as well. Well, I suppose, but... Yeah. It's one of those things. Hey, at least this looks like what might actually be a uniform for a real football team. Again, I distinctly remember the Super Bowl team in this is pink. I don't know if that's the case in this version, but it definitely is on the NES. And I can't imagine they would have changed it to pink. Because, like... You know, as much as we love the colour pink on this stream... I do have to look at it and go, okay, but no American football team plays in pink, I'm sorry. That's just not how it works. Okay, well, we're at the 1 yard line. First and goal. Okay, we should be good. As long as I just run to the end zone. There we go. Yeah. We're fans of colour pink on this stream. Just doesn't really make sense in this context. Actually, okay, what do we mark as the win condition for this? Does the Famicom version of this game have an ending? Because I know the default high score is something like 30,000 points, and I think I've already beaten the default. So, I guess it depends on what you count as that. Okay, is the win condition beating the Super Bowl? I guess it has to be, because in the NES version it definitely is. So, okay, if I can't beat the Super Bowl, we'll just say I didn't beat it. I put myself in for that. I'm locking it in. Unless people really have a grudge against it. You know, it's kind of a sad stream today, because this really is the final stream where I get to play these, like, early era games that I'm going to be more familiar with. And I'm going to have to play so much Kunio on the next stream as well. Not that there's anything wrong with the Kunio games, it's just that, again, the fact that those games are all in Japanese and have tons of menus and stuff, I probably won't get very far. You know, I've never actually gotten this far into this version. Again, I think prior to this stream, I'd only ever gotten as far as the college level, and I'd always just get tackled or intercepted or whatever. Wait, is there really not a playoff level? Are there only 4 levels to this? I thought... Because the NES version definitely has 5. So is this version just shorter? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm actually trying to play these games as they're presented on this console, just to give you a better idea on what it's like to play these games on here. I do have translation patches for the Kunio games, and again, I have the collection that has the games on it. But, again, I'm trying to play these games as they're presented on here. And while that's fine for the majority, certain games on here are just straight up broken. They just don't work properly. And other ones are in Japanese and have lots of text. So, again, not exactly ideal. You wouldn't... Basically, if you want to play those games, you don't really want to do them on this console. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh no, I got first down. Never mind. Yeah, I was going to say, I was going by the heads-up display thing on the right. It didn't look like I got to first down, but I think the chains decided to work in my favour. Oh! First down again. Okay, we're really up against it now. Actually, I think I figured out a secret to doing this. What you want to do is you want to get tackled maybe a couple of seconds before the timer goes to 0. So that way you can do another play. So I'm actually going to just deliberately get tackled here. So I can just do another play, and then when the timer goes to 0, I should be able to do it. Yeah. I would say pro strats, but... well, to be fair, this is literally the pro level. You know, I think I'm okay to say that. Oh, I did it! Okay. We made it to the Turkey Bowl. Is this the Thanksgiving match? Like, is the other team just going to do the butt fumble? Someone we're going to open Thanksgiving NFL matches is the butt fumble. Oh, sorry, it's not the Super Bowl, it's just the Super. Welcome to Super Mode. Oh, here we go. So, wait, are we playing against... Is this the Raiders? Yeah, they've got like a black kit. Yeah, I guess this must be the Raiders. Like, are we going up against John Madden? That's cool. Oh, it just infinitely loops after the Super Bowl? That's interesting. Oh. I'll be going more aggressive. I do know that as you progress in this game, the computer opponents, they get faster and just generally more aggressive. Oh god, 15 seconds then... oh god. I know you said that you effectively cannot get tackled once on the arcade version. I assume in this version you can get tackled and you're fine. As long as you got a bit of time left. Also, someone tells me I'm not going to be able to pass in this mode. I feel like if I try to pass here, I'm just going to get intercepted and then it'll just be like, oh, well, game over. I love that sound. Yeah, American football games on the NES are interesting. Like, so many of them were made in Japan for a start. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm done here. But yeah. So many of them were made in Japan. And, you know, of course, there was the John Elway's quarterback game, which was made by Rare, you know, from the UK. So I don't know what's going on there. Like, were there any American football games made in America? Because the Tecmo games were made by, you know, Tecmo. This was by IRM and possibly Toze. You have the NFL game, which was made by Atlas. And that game is horrible, by the way. You don't want to play that one. There was Quarterback Scramble, which wasn't even released on the NES. There was the SNK one. It was a Touchdown Fever. And there was also the one that Nintendo did, which I think Toze also made, which is quite funny. But anyway, yeah. That is 10-Yard Fight for your Nintendo Entertainment System. What else shall we see? Well, I made it to the Super Bowl. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'd imagine most people can't do that. So, you know, at least there was one game today I wasn't that bad at. I'm going to have to get all these Kunio games out of the way eventually. I might actually save. I mean, it says volleyball, but I don't think this is a volleyball game. I think this may actually be the dodgeball game, and I do at least know how to play that one, so I'll save that for next time. Let's get this one out of the way. This is one I'm probably going to play for like 2 minutes, because I've never actually played this one, and to be honest, I don't really know how to play it. This is one of those, I really need to spend some time with it outside of the stream to really know what's going on. But this irritates me, because this one did get localized for the NES. Like, this is also known as Crashin' the Boys on the NES, Street Challenge. There is a NES version of this. And they could easily have just put that NES version on this console. And they didn't. And that irritates me. Like, they couldn't have just put that version on here. Also, yeah, I don't really get that. It's like they just sourced whatever ROMs they happen to have in their folder. So you get some games that have the copyright info hacked out, and other ones where it's not hacked out. I don't really understand that. But yeah, I'll play this one for like a few minutes. And then we'll play one more game after this. And then I'll probably leave the rest of them for next. Well, actually, no. See how far we can go for. Maybe I'll just get the rest of these Kunio games out of the way, and I'll save the dodgeball one for next time. Assuming that is what I think it is. And I don't actually know what these different modes are. I can't read them. Again, if it was the NES version, I'd at least know what I was selecting. So, I guess this is like, you know, tournament mode, where you have to play all the events. And then, I don't know what these are. Maybe there's like versus mode or something. But yeah, it's got 4-player support. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so you got the 400-meter dash. There's, I'm trying to remember what's in this game. There's the swimming mode where you just fight the other player. There's the one where you're running on a rooftop and you're trying to make the jump. And then there's like 2 other ones. I can't remember what those are. I'll just play this for like a couple of minutes. Again, if you really want to see me play this game, this is not really the way to play. Again, if it was in English, I probably would give this more of a go. But the fact they couldn't even be bothered... If they can't be bothered to source an English version, I can't really be bothered to play this much. And that's not me commenting on the quality of the game or anything. It's just that, yeah, when I can't read the text, it's awkward. So here we go. We've got sports item shop. I like that it's got the menus, like this whole shop area, similar to River City Ransom. It's kind of funny, because River City Ransom isn't even on this page. I think it may be on one of the other ones. Also, the background, it looks like they've edited it slightly, but not very effectively. And I don't know what this is. Like, I guess I can buy this, and maybe that does something. Again, this is one of those, like, there are a few Kunio games that I'm familiar with, but many of them I don't know. And this is one of the ones that I don't really know. I know River City Ransom, I know Super Dodgeball, and I know Renegade, and that's about it. I don't really know any others. I don't know. Is this game particularly hard? Here's the thing. I've played this game for a few minutes, and I had no idea what I was doing. I know this event enough to where you just gotta beat up the other player like this. Oh. Also, I forgot some of the... Yeah, some of the things are just taller than other ones, and I don't really get that. Yeah, note that the computer opponent just, like, spans the spin kick as well. It's like I'm fighting Jennifer from AB Bishoujo Senshi Girl Fighting, or whatever it's called. Yeah, how do you like it? Oh, okay, the B button just does that. Yeah, this is like you have to memorize which ones are high and which ones are low. It's like you gotta know the pattern. Unless it's randomized, but I wouldn't have thought so. I don't know, it's kind of funny, because, like, I know how to play track and field. Like, track and field I'm good at. This, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I know it's more, like, fighting-based. Okay. Yeah, the building jump. Oh, wait, I have to do this again? Wait, what's going on? It is funny that, literally, to do the spin jump, you just press the B button and that's it. Problem is, half the time you spawn in, you just instantly get hit. Or you can do anything. And I know that this game has a health system that I think carries over between events. So you gotta be careful with that too. Also, you can do that. Ugh. I know you can pick up the planks, but you have to be like... Yeah, it's like the timing has to be like dead on, I think. Otherwise it just doesn't work. Yeah, and I never figured out how to use it. No, I don't think I'm winning this. I'm amazed I even did as well as I did in that first run. Yeah, it's like this is what happens most of the time. You just get hit over and over and then lose. Yeah, this feels like a very memorization-based game. Although, you kind of also have to know the controls. Yeah, see, this is the problem. Like, the computer just, like, constantly does the spin jump move. It's like, what am I supposed to do there? Like, if there's a way to, like, avoid getting hit there, the game doesn't explain it. You just have to, like, pray. Yeah. I don't know. It kind of makes me wish I was playing River City Ransom, to tell you the truth. Because that game, I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. Yeah. We get second place out of 2 players, though. That's maybe not quite as good. Yeah, so literally you just do the spin kick at the end and you win. The problem is that the computer spams it, though. That's the problem. Yeah, see, look at this. Now I can just do that to the opponent back, and then it's like, oh, well, now one. So we go, that's... Wait, 400 meter dash. Is that the event that I just did? Wait, why do I keep doing the same one again? Is it... Okay, here's a question. Is this an issue with the ROM? Am I only supposed to do it once? Well, wait, no. Now it's just the computer playing itself. Okay, well, I guess I can just watch the gameplay itself, I suppose. It's fine by me. It gives me the chance to indulge in some tea time. Oh. I imagine this game would be a blast for 4 players, though. Let's be honest. It's kind of the case for a lot of these games, I think, where you get like 3 other people to play this with you, and it'd be immense. It's like Tournament Fighters, where you have the tournament mode. You can just have 4 players. That'd be pretty good. But you know what sucks though? Like, this console, you can only plug up to 2 controllers in. Like, I don't know if any of these 4-player Kunio games or any other games ever got included on the NES Mini or the Famicom Mini, but if there is, there's no way to play 4-player without modding the console. So, well done there. But hey, I got 3rd place, so, yeah, it could be better. Wait, there was a prequel to this? Is that the one where it's like a cross-country race, or is that something else? Because I never figured out how to do that one. I think I've played it for like 5 minutes and I couldn't figure it out. I've played a ROM hack of it on one of the... It was like a plug-and-play joystick. I don't have it with me. I think I sent it off to be, like, preserved, let's say. Also, like, note that Kunio just straight up has better stats than everyone else. I can't even remember the names of the other characters. You know, let's just quickly take a look at the next event. Just, cause I forget what this one is. Oh yeah, the golf one. I'd forgotten about this. Oh yeah, you could just kill the other... Oh no, it's not golf, sorry, it's, yeah, shot put, but it's also kind of like golf. Here's the problem, I don't remember the controls. Like, one thing I will give games like Olympic Gold on the Mega Drive is that there's a practice mode and it tells you what the controls are, from what I remember. And, yeah, this game doesn't seem to have that. Or if it does, I don't know. Here we go, my track and field skills! Unfortunately, they have failed me because I don't really know how they work in this one. Oh, I see. When the bar starts flashing, that's when you have to press the button. Okay. I get it. Again, I haven't really played this game, so you have to excuse my lack of experience with it. Okay, this might be good. I might have to come back to this event, certainly. Yeah, so just tap B like crazy. As I say, I can beat track and field, except on this console because Hypersports is broken. Because the qualifying thing doesn't really work. There's like a slight vibe of Ninja Golf about this, though this is probably the better game, to be honest. Although it seems like you have less energy, sort of later on. I don't know if that's intentional, or... Can't get the meter up as high! But I'll give it a go. I like that you can just collect coins suspended in the air, though. I'm surprised that there weren't more of these games in the arcade, actually. Oh, wait, okay, I get it. If you're on the fairway, you can throw further. Okay. Also, how big is this, like, course? Like 800 yards or whatever it is? You know, this one I can get my head around. Oh. Apparently I landed in the water. That's... Oops. Oh, wait, you can examine... Oh, okay, that's good. Wasn't aware of that. Is it B, maybe? No, it's not B. It is not B. So, apparently there's a button that lets you do that, but I don't know what the button is. It's not A or B. It's not start, because that just pauses it. Select doesn't do anything. So, it's either the D-pad or I don't know, maybe that's some button combo that I'm missing. Yeah, I can't get it to work. Again, I have the collection for these games, so maybe I just need to look that up at some point. Ooh, there we go. Yep, 13 strokes. Stroke limit! You've reached the stroke limit! Oh, now we get to watch the computer play. Okay, I'll probably move on from this in a second, and then I'll play... I think I'll play one more game as a kind of a nice send-off for all the early Famicom multi-cart games. And then, you know, next time I can finish off these Kunio games that are on this page at least, because there may actually be more Kunio games on one of the other pages that I haven't done yet. And there's also, what is it, Warwolf and Mario 14. We'll do those two. Wait, how does that work? You know, it's funny too. I also bought this, like, milk from, like, the local fruit and veg shop. They just started stocking milk. And I'm just like, I gotta try this out. I felt like Eugene Levy's character in Schitt's Creek, where there was that one episode where he becomes obsessed with unpasteurized milk for some reason. I don't know why, but just buying that bottle of milk just made me think of that. Because I'm just weird like that, I suppose. Next event is complete hell. Okay, you know what? Let's take a look at the next event. I may as well have a look at that. I'm guessing it's possible to get a game over in this, like if your character dies. Maybe. I don't know if there's a way to... Oh, okay, I guess it just shows one of the other computers. Okay, that's fine. Obviously I didn't win, because it took 13 strokes to do it, but whatever. Hold on, is this the roof jump? Or is this the one where you're, like, in the river, and you're just, like, fighting the other player? I can't remember what order these events in. Oh, okay, it is the roof jump. No, it's this one. Where you just, like, fight the other player. Okay, this one... I don't know what the controls are, but I know the idea where you're... Yeah, you just, like, beat up the other player. And then that happens. Also, I don't know what the orb is. Okay, I need to look into this game. sort of just in my own time, I suppose. But yeah, I suppose next time, just as a heads up, we'll play some Mario 14. Looking forward to that one. Wolf, these other Kunio games that I haven't played yet. I may actually try playing through this one, if it's the game I think it is. But these other ones I may end up skipping through, because I don't really know how to play them, to tell you the truth. I just never got around to them. Oh, so they swapped it in this... Okay, that's weird. Okay, you know, let's just finish off the stream with a nice round of 90 tank. You know, a nice way to send off these, like, really early Famicom games. Even though technically this game's from 1990, but whatever. It fits the provenance, and that's what matters. So, you ever heard of this game, Battle City? You ever, you know that in China, they really liked Battle City? And in Russia, too. Like Russians love Battle City. And you know what? I also would like Battle City. It's a classic game. And this is just kind of like a weird sort of modded version of it. So yeah, have you ever played it? Yeah, this basically... It's a fun one. They basically took Battle City and just added a bunch of power-ups, changed the level designs, I think. Or certainly some of them are different. Try not to get shot. Okay. But what really sucks about this particular version... Normally, I think when this game was released, it had basically a menu. It had kind of a trainer menu, but it was less of a trainer menu and more like... It was more like the Atari games, where you get to select different game modes. And, you know, you get to, like, change up certain aspects of the game, like, different level setups, and... There's literally one flag where it actually makes it so that the computer can collect the power-ups. So, like, they can, like, get weapon upgrades and stuff, and it's crazy. And that is really good. And it's a shame that I can't choose those other options on this console. Yeah, you're just stuck with the Tank A version. I mean, why would they even disable that? Like, they have the trainer menu in the Contra games, so why couldn't they put the trainer menu in this? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But no, it's just whoever made this system, they just messing about. Not in a good way. Oh, you bastard. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I guess this actually activates the flag where the computers can collect the power-ups. Unfortunately, this computer in particular is being a bastard. Although, weirdly enough, it's turned some of the enemies into the power-up ones. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Instant upgrade. Okay, is this version just, like, glitched? Like, what's going on with the enemies? Like, I don't get this. It's like a lot of them just spawn... Like, they're all the power-up enemies now? Okay, this is a really interesting version, actually. I've never come across this. I like it, though. You know what? This is more than I was expecting. This is actually a really good way to go out. This is like the Chaos version. And... Ooh, yeah, you know what? Battle City with added Chaos, I'm down for that. Though, for some reason now I can't shoot through the blocks, even though I could earlier. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's a later version? I don't know. I need to test this out more. I do like this game, but I can tell you right now, there's no way I'm beating this. There's something like 50 levels, I think. Is it 50? I know there's at least 50. There may actually be more than that. But, yeah, as far as, like, early Famicom games go, I mean, Battle City and, you know, indeed its offshoots are definitely among my personal favourites. Just... You really can't go wrong with this. Again, it's one of those things no one ever really talks about Battle City outside of, like, Dendy fans. But this game really needs to get its due. Yeah, Xevious is good. I don't think it's, like, their best. I don't know, I prefer, like, Galaxian or this, personally. Like, Xevious is a great game. It's just not, like... If you were to ask me what my favourite games are, like, Xevious wouldn't really be on there. But anyway... That will do for today's stream, because I want to go make myself some dinner. Been going for over 2 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna give Mario 14 a good go next week. So look forward to that. And yeah, so I mean we've got, what is it, like 35 games left? Because I've done this, and this. Okay, yeah, so we're down to the last 35 games. And after this, we've got one more page of these later era games. We've got, there's like one page right near the end that's also just got just weird sort of miscellaneous stuff. And we've got one more page of nice code games. So hopefully we won't get the nice code games, but actually, no. Thinking about it, I'm hoping the nice code games are not the last ones I have to play, because if I have to close out this series with Animal Contest, that would be truly sad. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and next week, we're going to play some Mario 14, so take care.